Good afternoon. This is Patrick, just checking in from Herbastat.com. Wanted to go over the difference today. I was having a lot of different calls and different conversations, and it just sparked me, the difference between this caller and that caller, and the difference between that problem and this problem, and the difference between that guy and this girl is fear. That's what separates a millionaire from a billionaire. That's what separates a good parent from a bad parent. That's the difference between this and that. The little nook and cranny in between here and there is fear. That's what separates us. That's what changes us. That's what's debilitating us. That's what's stopping us from overcoming and enjoying the life we want and we desire is fear. It's the number one crippling emotion I've ever seen, and every person that's embarking on a new endeavor, they first imagine it, think it, and then fear sets in, and those are the objections, and then they can't conquer those objections, and then the fear becomes kind of stifling, and then the fear talks them out of the dream, and then the dream gets basically belittled to your average Tuesday morning, let's get back to work and stop this nonsense. So harnessing and controlling fear, and then the ultimate thing to do is to take fear and then, compartmentalize it and break it down and then control it and then literally attach belief systems to it. When we break it down and compartmentalize it, we have to attach belief systems to it that are healthy. So here's our fear. We must slice that down into 6 or 7 different pieces, and then each one look at it specifically, compartmentalize it, if you will, and then attach sophisticated rules and guidelines to that. Because what we do is we have our fear, and we attach sophisticated rules and guidelines to that big fear, and we can't overcome it. We don't have the skills, we don't have the tools, and we don't have the know-how. And we're not willing to literally switch out one belief system for another, meaning here's my fear, it's so great I can't overcome it. Here's the other thing, here's what I'm trying to get to, and I'm not willing to replace it with anything. This is just too great. There's nothing greater. I have nothing greater than this fear. I can't literally replace it. So what we do is we cut it in half, make it smaller, then divide it again and get it even smaller. And then we're able to say, for example, well, then I'm willing now to replace this with that little thing, and then replace this with that little thing, and replace that with this little thing. And then we've actually conquered our fear step by step, inch by inch, moment by moment, by dividing it and dividing it and dividing it and get it down to a workable space, something we can handle, something we can conquer, and something we're able to literally, in a sense, replace. I have this fear, and I'm able to replace that emotion with this emotion, meaning my want and desire to succeed is greater than my fear. Why? Because my fear is real tiny right now. I've divided it over 6 or 7 little goals, and I've attached sophisticated rules and guidelines to that. The same thing I do with the big one. I've just done it to the small one. So it's achievable. In numbers, it's achievable. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.